In this video, I'm going to show you how to create sample templates and assign them to process flows in MineMarket. So we'll have a look at result types and the precedence of the different result types. We'll have a look at Analytes and Analyte groups, and we'll look at then assigning the sample template to a process flow. So let's start off. The first thing that we're going to look at is result types. Now you can see we've got 4 different result types. We've got final, lot, preliminary, and estimate. MineMarket regards the one at the top as the one with the highest confidence level, which means that if I have an estimate sample on a process flow and I have another sample that's with a result type of final, MineMarket would use that as the best known value. If I have an estimate and I have a preliminary, MineMarket would always use the one that's display is higher on the interface as the better quality. Right. So the first thing is we need a couple of analytes, and then we go and create an analyte group. If you're manually entering sample values, then it's always a good idea to have a look at the lab sheet and put the analytes in the same order that you would receive them back from the lab. And that just helps for data accuracy when entering the sample results manually. Right. So let's go and create a sample template, and we're going to assign it to the process flows. So I'm using the put to ROM process flow, and I already have 2 sample templates. I have a final and an estimate. So let's say, just for the example's sake, we're going to go and create a preliminary. So the first thing I need to do is I right click in here in this section and I say new, and I'll use the same naming convention that they're using here. So I'll say it's from the open pit mining area to the ROMs, and I'll call it preliminary, and it's for the company Diversified Mining. Right, so I've created a sample template, but I haven't added any analytes. So there are 2 ways to add the analytes. You can either go and drag them on individually one by one, or you can take the whole analyte group, and you can see as I'm dragging it, I can't drop it here, I can't drop it there, and as soon as it changes into a square, that's a valid place where I can drop it. Right. The first thing that you'll see is the analytes display in exactly the same order. So it starts off here with moisture and goes down iron, silicon. It's exactly the same order. What MineMarket does do by default, it automatically assumes the lowest result type, and it defaults that. So you can see there we've got the lowest precedence result type is the estimate, and MineMarket automatically allocated that. So we just need to go change them to preliminary. And then I need to save that. So what this means for this process flow, if we look at the result types here, if I have an estimate and that quality would be replaced by a preliminary, and then that would be replaced by if there's a final value. So remember what we said earlier on, if we have an assumed source, that quality will flow through from the source to the destination up to the point where it's overwritten by a sample. When we have multiple sample templates, MineMarket would keep the values of each sample recorded, but the values of the quality that will flow down the supply chain will be based on the precedence of the result type, meaning the result type that's displayed at the top would have those are the qualities that will flow down the supply chain. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them to support.minemarket@dataminesoftware.com.